Good morning. It is.
Morning.
It is morning. That's true. It is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. How about that? We got through August, and now on to the ninth month. The video games are gone. At this point in time, all video games are boxed, with the exception of Switch, and I guess also PS5. That little stack of PS5 is still there. There's still plenty of other video game stuff to box. Player's guides. Amiibo, including the one random Sephiroth amiibo. I don't know why I really don't know why he's there. I'm sure I did it, but I don't have any recollection of doing it or why I did it, so it's way more ominous. I don't know. There's also a few NES games. Fun fact, dining room is full of video game boxes. There's not a single box labeled NES, because what I did was in every single box, practically, almost every single box, there's like a few NES games. Because they fit. Because it'd be like a big stack of video games on the left and the right, and then in the middle there'd be this little slit, and I'd be like, NES! So I just kept doing that, and I wound up with like no NES boxes because they all were distributed amongst all the other boxes. So that was good. I can have space for all those PS5 games. All those PS5 games. Yeah. The Quarry. Split Fiction, Stray. Those are all ones that we did on stream. Persona 5, because Mal wanted to play Persona 5. Demon Souls, because Alex bought Demon Souls to play over here, but only played it once. The Uncharted collection, because Mal and I at one point had been working through Uncharted together, and I wanted to play it on PS5. And then Sackboy, because I got that from Mal at Christmas at some point, because I was like, I think we might play this. We still might, but we haven't. The Pathless, which was the first PS5 game we were given, which was sent by the publisher. They just sent it. They're like, here's the Pathless. And I'm like, we don't even have a PS5. And then Need for Speed Unbound, which was sent in mail. So 9 games. What? Tom is my son. No, he's not. I have a son. I have a son with Tom. Also, I wanted to tell you about Claire. Claire and Jared and Dan are all the aunts and uncles of the son that I had with Tom. Me and Tom have a son. You might be wondering, what's his name? Once I tell you, you'll never be the same. His name is... It has 2 B's. You can write as many other letters as you want, but you have to remember it has 2 B's. Was because when we went to name him, we both tripped. Can you spell that? Absolutely not. Things I'm not expecting. A morning song, especially when I'm like looking over here.
16.
Hi. You seem awake. We had 9,500 bits from Gold Lighting who says, sing about your and Tom's son. Include Claire, Jared, and Dan. Sure. Sure. You're here.
Barely.
I've been up since, I think about 6:30. So I'm up. We discovered at some point, was it on Friday?
Why is that here?
The elf glove?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. The handle was hot.
That's not good. Did you microwave it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I repeatedly forget not to do that. With this mug specifically. Because this mug, I don't know what's different about it. I guess because the handle is black and the inside is black. Something about it, the handle heats up hotter. And I've done this multiple times, where I'll heat. Sometimes I'll heat the mug with water in it before I put the coffee in it, because then it keeps the coffee hotter. And I can do that with any mug, but the mug that has the black handle, it gets really hot. But I've done it. I just keep doing it because every few months I forget. And then I remember the minute that I touch it, because I go, ah! And then I have to bring it upstairs with an UV glove. In fact, this exact scenario has probably happened before, where you've seen an UV glove and said, why is that there? And then I've been like, I heated this mug.
Huh.
Anyway. Yeah, I think it was Friday that, I don't remember how we got to that point, but, we decided that me and Tom adopted a child at some point. I don't remember that. I don't remember what happened to get there.
Friday was forever ago.
It does feel like forever ago. It feels like a long time ago. In that time, I was letting them know that, like, all the games are boxed up, with the exception of the obvious ones that aren't. Okay, there's 9 games.
Yeah.
And a few weird NES games.
What about those?
Okay, so no Game Boy games are boxed, actually. I just forgot. There's an entire shelf of just loose Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance carts. But in fairness, they'll all fit in, like, one box. But yeah, I forgot that existed. Okay, so, like, those... Alright, yeah, we'll get those. But that's it. That and, like, player's guides. And the best way to move player's guides is to put them in comic book boxes. And my go-to for comic book boxes is Roland. And Roland doesn't live nearby now.
There are other comic book shops.
That's what I mean. I'm
People
gonna have
do
to
buy them to store their comic books.
There are comic book shops in Raleigh. I think I will need to maybe go to...
Take one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. I should take a player's guide and be like, it has to fit in here. Because there's 2 sizes. There's comic book size, which is too small for player's guides. And then there's, like, bigger that will fit player's guides. So, anyway, we gotta, like, do that at some point. Anyway, we also had 1,600 bits from Gold Lighting. Says, included the rest of the disc-only crew so they don't feel left out. They get to be related. Aunt and uncles.
Godparents?
Whatever. What is a godparent other than an aunt or uncle that's not blood? It's like the same thing. Have the same role in a child's life. Auxiliary parents. I should read these. We got 40 months from Jet, 46 from Mickey3435, Vagabond gifted a sub to Malye, 65 months from Anise, 81 from The Great Ass Fairy, 37 from D-Tran, 61 from Jacebook, 68 from Chill Days, 300 bits from Miss Mayhem 310, 76 months from We Win, 55 from Cheese Saves, 81 from Sappy Bee, 69 from Sacra Celica, nice, 69 from Snowy Satoru, nice, double nice, that's good. 4 months from DBO5, 82 from Dark Overlord, 27 from Tashi B, Cheese Hammer gifted a sub to that's my boy, and 64 months from the Thunder Striker. Anyway, so this weekend, this happened. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that that's happened. But there's still, like, you know, more to do. However, I'm happy to announce... Oh, morning, Sam. I'm happy to announce that there is a new vlog that we'll be releasing after breakfast stream. So that's good. It shows the boxes. If you're like, man, I wish I could see those boxes. Megamon says, who knows what it's called? I have a fun announcement. YouTube is rolling out a new feature that's in beta, and the vlog channel got access to it. It's just random. They just pick you. They're like, here, have this. And it's A/B title testing. So we've had A/B thumbnail testing, which is actually out of beta now. Now it's like everyone can use A/B thumbnail testing. But now we have A/B title testing, which means that you can assign a video 2 different titles. And, well, I think 3. You can assign a video up to 3 different titles with 3 different thumbnails. And then it'll go to different people, and then after a 2-week period, or shorter if it's very, very quick and apparent, YouTube will be like, okay, this one performed better, and then it gives you information about how to title things in the future. Hebo Skip says, I hate that so much. I'll be watching the same video without realizing it more now. Welcome to YouTube! It's still in beta, so not everyone has that. But I'm certainly not the only person that has access to it. Okay. My assumption is if you are logged into the same account, it will not give you different things. Like if you're logged into account A, then it should always show like, here you go. But I don't know that it does that. And more importantly, a lot of people use YouTube and they're not necessarily logged into the same account, because some people have YouTube on their phone, but like on their phone they're not logged in, or on their TV they're not logged in, and if that's the case, then you might see the different one. So I don't think it's supposed to change. How is the A/B thumbnail working for you? It's not something we do a whole lot now, but every once in a while we'll have like a question about like, I wonder like what would do better, because we'll have an idea about something. Or whenever we do a video, we'll be like, oh, we have 2 very strong thumbnail ideas. I wonder which one will do better. So Chaz says, we had 2 concepts for the Mario Kart videos. Yep, that's right. And, like, they were pretty similar. Those were so similar that if you saw the different thumbnail, you may not even know that you got a different one. Because the concepts were pretty similar. But there's also been ones... Like, the first time I think I ever tried it for realsies was the highlights video that Dan did of me and Thomas racing Mario Kart 64 and 50 Chicken McNuggets. Mm-hmm. Like, I had 2 completely different thumbnails. So. Have you been shocked by some of the results of the thumbnail testing?
I always do it. In the last year.
Oh, really? You do two different ones? What do you do?
I have one of a screenshot from the stream or the time lapse
Okay.
as one, and then the other one is always the like fancy card with my logo and the art.
So one of them has you in it. Mm-hmm. What have you found the results to be?
Equal, like
50-50?
Like, it's like barely just slightly more, so it'll pick one.
Yeah, and it's not even always the same. It's yeah. That tends to be the results on a lot of them.
Yeah.
There have been some that we've had that have been more like 40-60, and I can't tell you what those are because I can't remember. But we have had a few of those. The other thing, and this is important if you're using A/B testing for thumbnails, and I'm sure the titles work the same way. Those results are based on your watch time. It's not based on click-through, because a lot of people think that it's click-through. It's like, oh, how many people clicked through to watch this? And that's not what it's based on. It's based on watch time. So the idea behind that is you're trying to create a thumbnail and I guess now a title that intrigues people to click through, yes, but also is accurate enough to what the video content is that it keeps people watching. Because if you were just trying to create, a crazy title, crazy thumbnail, get people to click, yeah, they might click, but they're not going to watch because they're going to be like, this isn't what this advertised to be, and then they're going to leave. So that's why it's based on that. Yeah. 500 random people versus one very determined person. Yeah. So it's good. It's weird because in your mind you'd be like, it's click-through rate, right? But no, it's they're basically actively discouraging clickbait that way because clickbait doesn't help you grow an audience, which is good. I mean, it can. But not for the right reasons. We win gifted sub to Sab Irene. Appreciate that. And also 70 months from Seraphim2000. Thank you. What happens if you click through the link? Well, I mean, you can track in YouTube Analytics like your click-through rate, but the purpose of the thumbnail testing is not click-through rate. So if you have two different thumbnails and thumbnail A, people watch 70% of the video, and thumbnail B, people watch 50% of the video, then thumbnail A will automatically win. And if it's that quick, it'll happen fast. Like, if it's that drastic, because the tests go for 2 weeks, but they will stop in like 2 days if it's apparent immediately. And you can always change back to the other one, but... Yeah, Sab says it would be interesting if they would let you do it based on like a percentage of the video watched. I think it'd be nice if they let you just kind of have the option of what the test is based on, because then the creator could decide what they were testing for. But I don't know. At least they're making new features in the year of our Lord 2025 that are actually vaguely useful, instead of like removing things or adding stuff that everyone's like, why'd you do this? What was this for? That's fine. Thanks, that's where the coffee goes. You heat up that knee and I'll heat up this knee. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You washed your bike yesterday.
I did.
It's all clean.
It is clean. It was very full of mud before that.
How are the children?
Screaming.
yesterday was Labor Day. And yesterday was also my father's birthday. And I called my dad on FaceTime. And yesterday morning, it's actually getting cool here. Amazing. So Mal and I were on the porch yesterday morning, and I was talking to my dad. And the kids are home from school because it's Labor Day. And they are just screaming because that's just what they do. I mean, they scream.
Were so loud.
And they really do kind of treat our yard like their yard.
Uh-huh.
They just run. There's no sense of boundaries.
They're in the trees.
They're just... I know what you mean.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're climbing the trees.
They're just in the trees. It's just children in the trees. Anyway, Renee says, as a parent who would be mortified. I'm so sorry. So I'm talking to my dad on our porch, and the kids are literally like under our porch and just screaming. And my dad stops talking. He goes, "Do you have company?" And I was like,
"Yeah."
I was like, "No, it's the kids." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And like, I was to the point where like he couldn't hear me and I couldn't hear him. And he's on a phone in front of my face. And I was like, I'm going to go inside. So I went inside. And then later, I was up here recording the Patreon video. And I knew that you were talking to your dad on the patio. And then I heard you come in, still on the phone. And I was like, them kids are screaming. It's wild. You didn't yell at them to get off of the lawn?
They weren't even on our lawn when I was out there. They were just that loud.
Oh my god. Can't you tell the parents, can you please parent your kids, or is it just not worth it? It's not worth it. I mean, like, at this point, I'm like, I'm moving. So, whatever. It's fine. When we first moved in here and I heard them screaming, I thought someone was dying. So I the first few times I would go to the window and be like, is everyone okay? And now I just know that that's what they do. Which is not good, because if any of them were like getting stabbed to death, I would just sit here because I'm like, oh, those kids, you know how they love to scream. Michael Myers out there with and I'm just in here like, oh, they having fun out there, ain't they? God bless them.
Coffee.
Anyway.
It's not, okay, so like there's a lot of kids on our street.
Seth says one of my teacher friends used to hear screaming from kids in the summer. It would be like, it's not my problem, it's off season.
There's a lot of kids on our street. And like, they're never outside. They're always outside.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones next to them, when they're outside, it's even worse.
You know what I think it is? I think if you've got the screamy kids, like you're the parents of the screamy kids, you don't want them in the house because they probably scream in the house too.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, go outside.
Yeah.
But it's also the same people where like, remember whenever there was that one kid that was outside with them, but the kid was like 1 or 2?
Oh yeah, I saw him yesterday when I was washing my bike.
And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not an expert at children. I just feel like if there's a child that's like 2, it just should be an adult present. Instead, the other kids who are like 7 and 8 are the ones watching the 2-year-old. I almost backed up over that kid like a few months ago. Because I'm like coming out and the kid like walks behind the car and I can see him on the camera. So I stop and then I look at the little girl who's supposed to be watching him and she's just watching him do that. She's just like, doesn't say anything. She's sitting up on like the electrical box and is just watching him like, and I'm like, wow, you're doing a great job. It's fantastic. Really, really great effort.
Someone had asked if it was the Brandon clone. No.
He's older.
He's much older.
Yeah. I wouldn't run over him.
No.
Like, I can see him better.
He's in high school.
Yeah. Anyway. Everett says, it's almost like kids aren't the best babysitters. Like, there's no doubt that there are some 7-year-olds who are more in tune with this. You know.
Oh my god, Brandon's in high school.
He's really growing up. But I would say that most 7-year-olds probably shouldn't be given the task of watching a 2-year-old.
No.
It doesn't seem great.
I mean, let's see, when did I start babysitting? 12? I was babysitting at 12. And I was watching, like, 6-year-olds. One time there was a baby.
A baby? But what is a baby?
Like, in a crib, like, cannot walk.
There's, like, all these words for all these ages that happen, like, in quick succession. Because, like, once you're... How old? Once you're, what, like, 3 or 4? That's like, that's a child. But then before that, there's, like, toddler and infant and baby. Are there more? And, like, what ages are those? Newborn? Tween.
Did I ever babysit Carly?
I feel like we went the wrong way.
Technically.
Oh,
but, like, she's only 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
Watch out for that baby.
He is in the road.
He's walking around.
Gonna get squashed like a toad.
He can barely walk.
It's honestly kind of wild.
Where is an adult?
Where's the child? The child just watching him walk behind my car and's like, this is fine, drinks another sip. Baby in the road, squash him like a toad is a rhyme of the century. Did you hear the kids screaming about the frog yesterday?
No.
Good. I did not go check it out because it's not my problem. I heard something about what they were screaming about and I was like, you better not be torturing a frog. Because they were screaming some things and I was like, I don't like what you're screaming. We had 5,000 bits from Gold Line who just wrote, baby. Anyway, there's a lot of steps. And then eventually, like, you're a child. And then you're just a child for, like, a pretty long time. And then you're a teen for a pretty long time. And then you hit adult, and then you're adult until you're, what, senior?
I mean, there's little things in there. There's, like, preteen, young adult.
Young adult, mid-adult.
I'm ancient, I know.
Ancient. What am I? Are we both ancient?
We're an ancient.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay. We have 300 bits from 1 True Zeroing who says, this discussion reminds me of a question I've had for a while. I often watch longer videos in shorter chunks across a week or so. Do you know how that works out with watch time analytics? I don't think it changes anything. Personally. Like, you're watching the video, especially if you're logged in, my suspicion is that it just is, it knows. So I don't think that changes much. Do I know? No, I don't know. No, but that'd be my suspicion. We got 500 bits of Jet Jet. It says, took my dogs on their own individual adventures on Saturday, and then at 9:30 that night, when I was practically falling asleep, I got a job interview request for today. So guess what I'm doing when the stream ends? Let's get the cat to poop somewhere. Good luck. That's kind of a wild time to get a job interview request.
Yeah.
9:30 at night.
On a federal holiday?
Right?
Yeah.
That's actually really weird. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Either way, good vibes. I hope the interview goes well. Sappy says someone was up late. Yeah, we've had a lot of like emails and stuff that we've had to send in the past month, and sometimes the response, like the time I get the responses, is surprising to me. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect to get this at this time, but Renee says, a newborn is when they are newly born. An infant/baby, for me, are interchangeable. Toddlers when they start toddling/walking. Toddling?
Yeah, like toddle around.
Is that what toddler
Yes.
is from? I've never heard the word toddling. Huh. Preschoolers when they are in preschool, and child is when they are in school. I've never heard this word in my life. Describe toddle. Did not know what I meant. It said, did you mean title or title? Neither. Describe toddle. Verb of a young child. Move with short, unsteady steps while learning to walk. Neat. I've never heard that word in my life. 300 Bits of Gadzooks, it says, are you ready for another strange sports names? Cool. From Iran, it's weightlifter Saeed Mohammed Porkar Karag. A Macarena. It took a turn somewhere. It did take a turn somewhere. I'm gonna say around the Macarena part, probably.
Coffee.
Where that changed. We got 300 Bits from PK Gaming Omega. Says, currently in Japan, there's a mother exhibit showcasing all the original clay models. I went and it was wonderful, but pictures aren't allowed, so I can't prove to my friends that I went. That's only going on until the 8th. It's been going on for a little bit, but it ends on September 8th, so it's good that you went, because it's not going on forever. It's also the first time the clay models have been seen in public ever.
Yeah.
Like, they did all the clay models for the original Player's Guide in 1994. Chaz says they have a video on it if you want to watch the video. 85 minutes of Earthbound clay models. They made all these cool clay models for the Mother 2 and Earthbound Player's Guides in 1994, 1995. And then they went into storage forever. And then 30 years later, they're like, y'all want to see them? And everyone's like, yeah! So then they pulled them out. And we knew that they had them to an extent because they've been doing the covers for...
They haven't even been on all that many covers. They were on the cover when they, like a year ago.
I think they've
or
been
2
on,
years ago?
Yeah, I think they've
but
been
that's
on...
it.
Yeah.
They weren't any further back.
Really? Mm-hmm. Maybe they only just found them. That's not impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, when there are things like that where there's just one of them, they get boxed up and put somewhere, and then people forget about that sort of thing. So that's not too unsurprising. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
This year has them. Yeah, this year they're on the weeks, and is the lenticular Mr. Saturn one of the clay models? I think so.
Yeah. It's like the front and the back. Happened with me in the Ark of the Covenant. There it is. You're gonna love this thing. It's great at parties. Yeah, the pencil board had them. Yeah, it's that I'm really curious how often that happens with like other things too. And then some things are just they're never found. Like there's old films and things that some that got like burnt or whatever and they're gone, but there's some that are just like missing media. It's like it must exist, but it got put in a warehouse and the boxes weren't.
Or maybe someone happened to record it on VHS and it hasn't been found.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that there is missing media is just wild. It's hard to imagine that in today's age because everything is like,
Yeah.
you know, hyper recorded and digitized and kept. But in the old days, yeah, I think the Lost Doctor Who stuff is probably the biggest example. Yeah.
Original Mystery Science Theater. I think there's still one missing. Like the KTMA episodes.
Yeah. Slick Duke says, it's basically what Alex was doing with Golden VCR. Alex never found anything that was, like, lost media, right? Like, I don't think he found anything that was... that he had, like, the one... like, he was the first person to get online or something. But I also don't know. Maybe he did. Please make sure everything you post online is mirrored on sites like archive.org. Oh, jeez. Robert Frog says, I mean, someone literally overwrote the original moon landing footage. No one keeps, I mean, in fairness, when I was young, I had a video camcorder. And I had, like, I think 6 tapes.
So you just reused them at the time?
I just reused them. So, you know, me and my friends would go out and, like, make a little video, and then eventually we'd be like, oh, we'd go back and write over it. So now there is, if you watch any of those tapes, it's like sometimes when something ends, you'll see a glimpse of some other thing completely for like a few seconds, and then it jumps to something else. So like there's this thing that was captured that's just gone.
I mean, that's kind of how Carly and I would record shows, like in high school. So we'd be like, oh, I'm gonna be out to see an episode of whatever on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So like we each had our own VHS and be like, well, hit record for me out because you'll be home.
Yeah. You didn't have the
And then like we each had one and we just keep like rewriting over it.
You didn't have the VCR with the time
No, but we had a remote that had 2 time dials on it.
dials?
Yeah, they were like big dials. They were basically 2 clocks. So you'd set a start time and an end time, and then you'd set it right in front of the sensor on the VHS. You'd have to make sure the TV was set to the right channel when you left, and that everything was like...
Jesus. I believe you. It
looked wild. Let me see if I can find a photo.
That's back about the 1900s were wild. Like we had a VCR that had like the time on it, so you could set the time and it would capture. I think it also maybe had to be on the right channel and the TV had to be on. So you had to leave it, but if you did, it would capture the thing. Yeah.
This.
I love this. Hold on, can we get
Here.
Can you get that posted so we can show that on screen? Because I love that so much. That is exactly as you described it.
I know.
Yeah, you crop it down a little bit. That's funny. Like, well, to be honest, even the VCR we had with the time thing, I don't know that my parents really knew how to use it. I think I only knew how to use it. But before that, the VCR that we had before that broke, it didn't have any of that. So like, if you wanted to record something, you had to be there to press the button.
It's in the queue.
This is the remote I was talking about. Look at that thing. That is just 2 dials.
I told you it was a clock.
Wow. So, okay, so the interesting thing here is what's happening now. Well, I understand what's going on now that I see the image. It's that the VCR itself doesn't have the functionality needed. Mm-hmm. So the remote is taking over in lieu of that. That's why you have to sit it where it's pointed at the
Well,
IR receiver.
I feel like it wasn't great, and so like sometimes you'd set it and it still wouldn't work. So it'd be like just hoping, like really hope it gets this.
Yeah.
So I think putting it right there made you feel better. I don't know.
Well, I bet what happened was, because it's an IR remote, because all of the remotes were IR remotes, so they had to be pointed at
The IR sensor.
Yeah. And the remote itself then would know the time, because the time would need to be programmed on the remote. And then you would just tell it what time. And basically all it's doing is the remote has the time. So when it hits that particular time, that's when the remote basically sends record. And then whenever the time ends, it sends record again. That's all that's happening, which is why it has to remain faced at the TV. The TV has to be on and on the right channel.
The TV didn't have to be on.
The TV didn't have to be on?
Just the VCR.
Oh, I
Our
guess
VCR had a channel thing.
Oh, I guess that's
the VCR
fair.
had to be set to that channel if the TV was off.
That's right. The TV doesn't have to be on, does it? Because the coax is running into the VCR, which has nothing to do with the screen. Yeah. Anyway, that's neat.
We had Betamax tapes, but we never, as far as I knew in my memory, never had a Betamax player. But we had like 3 Betamax tapes that my mom just kept from, I guess, when she had one.
Christine says, did y'all ever have a TiVo?
No.
No, I never had TiVo or DVR or anything. And I remember that becoming popular, though. It was like the early 2000s. And some people I knew had it, and that seemed revolutionary because years and years and years into people having the ability to, like, scroll down the channel list and, like, pick things ahead of time and like hit record, me and my family were still like going to channel 2 and waiting to watch through the whole thing that scrolled on its own. God,
See, that was how
I'm going back in time.
See, that's how it was at my mom's house, because my mom only had like channels 2 through 13.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you-
But my dad had cable.
Yeah.
So we'd have that at his house.
Yeah. Yeah, was it the TV Guide Network?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they used to have books. Oh my God. This is something that's so hard to explain to anyone who didn't experience this growing up. Like if you're just young enough to have missed TV Guide, that's
I mean, it's a similar concept to calling the movie theater to get times for movies.
yeah.
Or what my family frequently did was we'd drive past and slowly drive across the front of the movie theater to look.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that movie's playing at 2. Okay, let's go eat first and we'll come back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you had to do it. God. And yeah. I don't want Breakfast Stream to necessarily turn into when do you remember? But sometimes it does. Occasionally. We are old. That's fine. Old is beautiful. I do not miss phone books.
I watched a movie filmed and set in the 80s yesterday with Chaz and Jeff.
Yeah.
And, where was I going with this? I don't remember.
It's okay, you're old. You can't remember. You were probably trying to say something about the technology since we were just talking about VCRs and TV Guide.
I don't remember.
Well, they'll come back to you. Yeah. TV Guide, man, that was... It was... I remember it always felt like you'd go to the TV Guide channel because you wanted to know what was coming up on like channel 41. Mm-hmm. And every time you went there, it had just passed channel 41. And you were like, gosh. And then you had to sit there for like 4 minutes as it scrolled through all of the channels. You remember?
The kid in the movie had a paper route. And I was like, I had a paper route. And I was like,
what's the paper?
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah. Yeah. I was talking like 4 minutes. That's generous. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, things are better now. You know what? I talked to my parents this weekend, separate from calling my dad yesterday, because my mom had said, we got a call from our cable company / ISP, and they were telling me on the phone, they need to change this thing, and this has got to be changed. They got to swap this out, and we have all of these. We could do this or this. And she was like, "Ma'am, I don't know anything you're talking about. Like this doesn't make any sense. I have to talk to my son." So she calls me, and she's trying to explain to me what this representative told her, and my parents have internet, obviously, but they also have cable, and then they have a landline also, so they have all this stuff like bundled through this company. And I was like, do y'all need cable? Do you really need cable? Because what they're doing now is, the way they've had it is like traditional cable, like through coax into the back of the TV. And now the cable company is like, so what's going to happen is we're going to give you an Amazon Fire Stick. And the Amazon Fire Stick is going to have an app on it that we provide that gives you the cable stuff. And I'm like, okay, this sounds more and more just like a scam, because cable is so expensive, and it's, $100-something. And I told them, I was like, I think it's time for you to be done with this. I was like, be done with this. Be done with your landline, because you don't need that either. Keep your internet, and then why don't you just like piecemeal pick and choose what you want to watch, Because I was like, what do you watch? And Mom's like, well, we watch
the local news,
the Weather Channel. Mm-hmm. She's like,
American Idol.
We watch. Yeah, she's like, we watch, American Idol when it's on. And I was like, okay, so like Hulu covers the Fox stuff. So it sounds like you can just like get Hulu. Even without the live TV Hulu service, you'd probably set... Mm-hmm. Most of what they watch now is on Netflix anyway. I was like, you don't need it. Because, we haven't had cable since...
Ever?
We had it once.
It's because it was included with rent?
Yeah, it was included in, like, the HOA, and we had it. And then when we moved, it went away, and we just didn't need it or care, and we were like, whatever. It's fine. So yeah, I told him, I was like, let's save you a bunch of money, because you don't need this. We can just like let you watch particular things. And I said, the great thing is you get to decide when you want something. Because if you're paying for cable, you're paying like $100-something a month, and that's the price of like 6 or 7 streaming services. And you don't even need 6 or 7 streaming services at any particular time. You can have like 2 or 3 and then swap them out. So you'll save a bunch of money. And they're like, this sounds great. And I was like, yeah, it does. It sure does. If anyone has cable and loves cable, then like I'm not going to stop them. But having not had it for so long, I don't need it. I just don't need it. Do your parents have Ethernet? Internet? Yes, they have internet. It's fiber. They have fiber. Because everything went to fiber, so their internet's fast.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, Gedzooks, that's what I had growing up, was just the local channels.
Yeah.
2 through 13.
Yeah, sometimes me and Mal will talk about...
Like, I only got to see Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network when I was at my dad's house, which was every other weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Armor Frog says, I prefer to not have to pay for a service that still has commercial ads. Fair. So we had Hulu before, and we only needed it for a short time, and then I canceled it. And let me tell you, the fastest way to get a deal on a streaming service is to stop. Because as soon as I stopped, they were like, "Where'd you go?
Come back to Hulu.
Where'd you go? You want to come back? Come on back." And I'm like, "No, I don't. Sorry, I was watching Futurama and I'm done." So they're like, "No, wait, come back though. Come back. Why don't you come back? If you come back, we'll make it a little cheaper, please. Would you come back? And I'm like, no." So they just kept sending emails for like the next few months. And then finally, they were like, "King of the Hill's gonna be." I was like, "Oh, I'll watch King of the Hill." And they're like, "Do you want to watch King of the Hill? Do you want to? What if it was $5? Would you watch it for $5?" And I was like, "I'll watch it for $5." They're like, "Oh, goody!" But the $5 tier has ads, and I was like, "I'll do that. I'll do that for $5." So I have been watching Hulu with ads, which is a different experience than what we had. Mm-hmm. But for $5, I'm like, I'll do that. And then I'll cancel. And they're going to be upset again. They'll be like, where'd you go? I'm like, shut up. You don't need me. That's actually one of the reasons I advise people to swap out the services they watch. If you're done watching Peacock, cancel Peacock. Wait for them to send you an email. Be like, hey, you got any money? You got any money? Would we really like it if you watch the Olympics? Anyway, 300 bits from JetJet, who says, "The TV Guide channel was great. You could get so caught up in the infomercial that was playing that you'd miss the channel you were looking for and you had to wait around again, so you watched the infomercial again and missed the channel again." Fun times. That is true. I feel like a long time ago, they didn't have the infomercials. And then at some point, I don't know if this is a false memory, but you'll have to, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like a long time ago, it took up the whole screen, and then at some point, it squished down, and then the infomercials started showing up. But I feel like it didn't used to be that way.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
QVC resident.
Okay, I didn't know if I imagined that. I was like, I feel like when I was a child, it was the whole screen. And then at some point, it got smaller. 30 bits from Mike Christina says, "Not to make you feel older, but I realized the other day that some of the babies from early vlog days are now teenagers." Yeah. We very regularly have people that show up in chat that are like, "I watched you when I was in elementary school, and I just graduated college." And I'm like, yep.
I think what Christine's talking about is...
Renee says, Maddie's like, "Tell Steven I can drive now."
I think what Christine's talking about is, like, Sam.
Yeah.
Who's in high school?
Yeah. Sam was born 2 days before we got married. And now is as old as our marriage, which, as I've been told, is old. Mm-hmm. Sam is in high school. I haven't seen Sam...
in a long time.
The last time I saw Sam, he was like 6.
I saw a photo of him recently. He's taller than me.
Is he? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time. Christine said Jacob Ian Bonner is 14. Older than that.
He has to be older.
He has to be older. Yeah, he's definitely older because we got married and then Sam will be 14. So Jacob is like
2 years older than that.
Jacob's like 16.
Yeah.
Or 17. Gross. Gross. Oh no. Everyone's... it's fine. It's fine. Night Owl says they don't age because they're not on the vlog. There you go. Oh, I gotta tell you a story. I just remembered this, and it's wild. Okay, so my parents have been married for over 40 years, like 41 years, I don't know, quite a while. And they got married, not here. They got married in Maryland. And when they got married, they had a flower girl. The flower girl was 5 years old. The other day, my mom and my dad are in Kohl's. I was talking to my dad on yesterday, and he said, your mom was looking at one thing and I was off in another place, and he said, I got a phone call, and it was Mom, and she said, you gotta come over here, someone wants to talk to you. And my dad was like, oh God, who wants to talk to me? And he said he went over there, and there was a woman there, and she said, do you know who I am? And he said, I'm sorry, I don't. And she said, I'm your flower girl. And then he was like, oh, you are? And I was like, that's wild. Because again, they got married in Maryland. This is in a Kohl's in Myrtle Beach. And the flower girl saw my mom and went up to her and was like, do you know who I am? And my mom was like, I'm sorry, I don't. And she goes, I was the flower girl at your wedding. And then immediately my mom recognized her and knew who she was. And she was like, oh my God, Amber. And she was like, yeah. And that's wild. Like, that sort of thing happening is so crazy. And I was like, so why was she in Myrtle Beach? And Dad said that her and her family, like, visit the area, like, once a year or once every once in a while or something like that. And it's like their whole family is
Some people
down
do that.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Myrtle Beach is a pretty common, like, vacation destination for a lot of, like, East Coasters. So, yeah, that's neat. That is super neat. Anyway, Jill just says, good memory on that flower girl. I would still not recognize the people I was a flower girl for. That's what I was thinking too.
Especially that long, like, after.
Yeah, like, you would have had to have made a pretty wild impression on the 5-year-old to have been like, I remember this. But yeah. So, that's super cool. I'm glad I remembered to tell that story, because when my dad told me, I remember thinking, oh, I want to tell this on Breakfast Stream. This is such a cool story. Anyway, neat. That sort of thing happens sometimes. We run into people, but it's not the same as I was in your wedding 40 years ago. So, Cosmic says, that makes me wonder, and possibly a topic for later, how did your parents wind up in Myrtle Beach from Maryland/West Virginia?
That's a wild story. That is long. But it's a cool story.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
What? It went fast. We just got started talking about TV Guide, man. I've always said, if you just start talking about TV Guide, I'll talk to you all day.
I need to leave.
We have a lot going on today. Okay, but that is a good story. And maybe on Thursday we can tell it. Maybe. I'm trying to think if there's going to be like major news on Thursday. I don't know. Who knows anymore? I have no idea. We got 300 bits from PK Gaming Omega says, want to feel older? Undertale's turning 10 years old today. It could be classified as someone's childhood game. Undertale, to me, will always be Toby sitting on the ground
At Camp Fangamer.
at Camp Fangamer being
with
like,
dog cutouts.
like, I have this game coming out. And I'm like, oh, buddy. God bless you. It's going to do great, pal. And then it's like, Undertale is better than Half-Life 2. And I was like, what's happening? What's happening? What did Toby do? Why? How did this happen? Hopefully he's doing all right. I texted him last year. Last year? Last year.
You could text him this year.
I try not to overdo it. I try not to overdo it now. He's a busy guy. Arian says, you still haven't played it? I still haven't played it. But I feel like I've played it, which I think is the more important thing. There's movies I haven't seen, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen them. I think at some point I will play it. I'll go live one day. I won't announce that I'm playing it. I'll just start playing it. I'll have chat off, and I'm just gonna play the game and give my reactions. There you go. We got 84 months from Fossick Stream. Congrats on 7. Okay.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Watch Monkey. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. That'll be fun. My understanding is that I'm getting closer to the end of the game, which happens every time you play a video game. Wow. You have an auction.
I do. Ends Thursday.
Ends Thursday. Winter Goldenrod. Check it out. Thursday breakfast stream 9 a.m. Friday morning 11 a.m. you're painting.
Yep.
Friday evening 8 p.m. we're playing Mario Odyssey. At some point we have to move, so I don't know when we're not going to play Mario Odyssey anymore, but we're still
I'm not
playing
sure how moving's going to affect my streams.
Yeah. There should be a new vlog out now. If there's not, something's broken, but it should hopefully be out now. So check out the new vlog. It's the last August video. And the Patreon video is done and will be releasing today. So we have some errands to run, and then whenever I get back from the errands, I will release it. So, yeah, there's some cool little bits of information in the Patreon video too. Yeah, and yeah, the vlog is pinned there by Fossick, so you can check out the vlog. It's a nice little update and shows the dining room full of boxes. Okay, all right. That's it. We gotta go, so I'm not gonna go to an ending screen with a dome. Instead, I'm just gonna say, take care of yourselves. Do something nice for yourself today. Maybe take a walk if it's not super hot. It's gonna be a little warm, but it's you know, it'll be all right. See y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the continuation of Donkey Kong Bonanza.